Hello, good day everyone. I hope that you were able to adjust with what's going on already around us. And then thank God we thrive no matter what's going on. Thank God that learning still continues. And the first thing that I would like to tell you with our lesson for today, by the way, we will be talking about traffic management and accident investigation. So first is, in order for us to continually thrive, let me suggest something for you to do. In your screen, you will see the uh, phrase, hungry for knowledge, find the right tool. But my suggestion is, when I was hungry, every food is delicious. Even just rice, it seems the most delicious food in the world. Even leaves, sometimes I was able to eat. It's so delicious to me because I was so hungry. Acquiring knowledge is like that. There are foods that is bitter for you, but when you are hungry, they are so sweet. There are several topics also that you don't like and probably you hate it, but if you are hungry you will learn to love them. So my suggestion, in your lesson, try to love hungry for knowledge. The second thing that and another thing that I would like to suggest for you to do, so that not only we thrive but we also enjoy it, that's it. Be like the frog who never ever give up. Don't ever give up as well. Okay, so let us start with historical background. So how did transportation evolve? So as you know, just imagine during the time of Adam and Eve, how did they transport their goods at that time? How do they move? Of course, at first, it was the human themselves who carry their own goods. They transport their own goods. However, as they progress, they realize that they could no longer carry by themselves. Thankfully, there are animals around and they begin to domesticate them. And so they use animals to carry their goods. We have the cows, the horse, the elephants, the camels, and almost all kinds of animals are being used to transport goods. But as time passed by, when we have already a lot of goods to transport, we are more civilized. We realize that animals are very slow already, and then human begin to invent new things, and then they think of something else until they figure it out that we need a much better technology until we have cars. And then cars are sometimes not capable of reaching fast and far, and so we again thought of something else. We use air power. We use airplanes to transport goods faster than anything else. And then, however, as of today, we are again realizing that it seems airplane is not enough, because we are trying to go beyond our solar system or go beyond our planets. We wanted to go to other planets, and probably in the coming years, not so far from now, we will be using another mode of transportation, the rockets, and I don't know in after rockets, but that is how we evolve in our transportation. One of the breakthrough in our history that actually made transportation better is when wheels were invented. It was mentioned in the history that around 3500 BC, people began to see the importance of wheels. The wheels were probably in the form of stone or in the form of wood, but wheels were invented at that time. by the people in Mesopotamia, that is in Iraq for now, and then surrounding countries like Egypt, and also in uh, in Persia, Iran. So it was there where wheels were begin to be developed, but according to historians, they used that to manufacture paths in potter's wheel. And then later on, 300 years later, somebody figured out that it can be used for chariots, where they put wheels on something that horses will pull. So, and then from that time on, it was improved, was developed until we have today. So they said that wheels can never be reinvented. It will always be circular. There is no square wheels or rectangular wheels. It will always be circular or round. So there is one thing that we can never reinvent, and that is wheels. So it's actually the breakthroughs. It makes the movement of people faster because of that particular part of a transportation equipment. And according to history, Romans were known to be the road builders in early century. They were able to build only not very long road. Actually, it was very short if we combine them together. But the roads that they have constructed has opened eyes of the next generation that it is possible actually to connect one place to another by building roads. However, um, the roads that they began to construct collapse also when their empire collapses. And some of them still remains, like in our picture. This is an example of the Roman built road in Rome, and a lot also of like this in Great Britain and Greece, and some of the old cities in Europe. And until now, after almost 2,000 years, they still exist. As you can see, it's made of bricks and flat stones. So that is how it began. And then from that time on, people were improving, isn't it? And so there are some people who saw that the the road built by Romans were not actually efficient, because before late 1800s, the road uh, were still not in good shape, and it was being used by the horse, of course, not motor vehicles. And then here comes a guy from United Kingdom, and he noticed that there's something wrong. So he was able to figure out something. This is him. He is John L. Macadam. He developed a theory, and they call it macadamized theory. What is that? This macadamized theory suggests a better way of constructing roads. So what are the elements of this theory? It is actually suggesting where are you going to put the gravel, the sand, which one should be put on the mud first. Is it the stone or the gravel first? Where to put canals? Something like this are the idea of the macadamized theory. And then that was exported to different countries. Actually, it's like this. The illustration is similar to this. They call that as macadamized theory. So it was exported to America, and then they said that most of the engineering technique that modern engineers are using still uses the macadamized theory. So you will notice here that somebody introduced invention of wheels, and then wheels cannot run without road, and so somebody figured it out how to make a better road, and that is John Macadam. And also late 1800s, 19th century, somebody also figured it out already how to transport goods. Instead of using horse, they thought of making a better one. And in Europe, they began to invent a machine that is run by gas engine, by combustible engine. In other words, machine, not pulled by the horse. So that was around 1870s to 1900s, when motor vehicles were being conceived and designed. So this is it. This is the one of the first kind of motor vehicle using gas. And so that is in Europe, and the idea went around the world, particularly America. And here comes a guy whose name is Henry Ford. Thought of something. He said, I think I'm going to improve it and make it better. So he got the idea, the concept of motor vehicle. He improved it. He's not the one who invented motor vehicle. He only improved it. And then he produced his own Model T car. That was Henry Ford. That began in 1902, 1903. So airplane is at the same time invented, that the same bracket of years. And then after several years, 1907, he began to mass produce. Historian says that around 2 million were produced during that year and distributed around the world. That's the Model T vehicle by Henry Ford. So imagine 2 million cars were distributed. So that's how it progressed. And then from that time on, America were the first country to produce massively cars, and then followed by Japan after World War II. So they mass produce also cars, and until now the dominating car companies is Toyota. They are producing around 5 million cars a year, and they continue to improve and develop motor vehicles. And as of today, we are already in an era of embarking with electric cars. We are now living the gas engine era. So 5 to 10 years from now, I think 20% of the cars around the world is run by battery. And these cars you see is a Model X of Tesla company. This is 100% run by battery, and it is faster than cars using engine. And this is fully automated cars together with the Cybertruck. This is the new 4x4 car that we might be seeing in our country too, around 3 to 5 years from now. And this is fully automated. What do I mean? It is like a motor vehicle computer car, because you can adjust this to automatic mode. And then this is the new one, and then there will be a lot more. So from gas to electric to battery as of now, and we don't know again what would happen in the future. And so let's okay. So you see, as I've said a while ago, motor vehicle is mass produced in 1907 by Henry Ford, and in 1918 in Baltimore, USA, you can see already this. So it's like around just 11 years after the mass production. in just few years when motor vehicle were first invented, then we see already traffic jam like this. That is in Baltimore, USA, 1918. So imagine that, just years after cars were invented, and then uh, we already, the human is already experiencing like this kind of situation, traffic jam. And fast forward recently, not only that, here we go. So this is our present day. Uh, from the Roman road or no cars after just 100 years passed when car was invented, and then this is what we see on the road. And then we begin to make a remedy to alleviate the suffering of people. What we did is we human being tried to engineer things, and then they begin to think of a remedy, and one of those remedies that they are doing is to make roads wider, uh, and then overpass, flyover, etc. But do you think this will solve the problem? As of today, as of recording, there are more than 7 billion people on the planet, and statistics says that there are 2 billion cars, more than 2 billion cars running in the whole planet. And by 2050, we will be around 9 billion. And how many more cars will be produced? They said that it will be doubled. Maybe from 2 billion right now, it will be 4 or 5 billion cars will be running on the road due to its necessity. So do you think this can occupy, can accommodate those 5 billion cars in the future? So it's not a sustainable solution. That is why we are learning traffic management. That's actually the very reason, because this is a product of traffic management. But if you look at what we are doing today as solution, it is not actually sustainable. And so, what else? Let me tell you this. We cannot deny the fact that invention of wheels, invention of motor vehicles, and construction of roads have made our life better than any human being on the planet. It helped us move our goods faster. We may not be able to enjoy our life today had it not of those inventions. But what is so sad here also is those inventions have also side effects. One of those side effects is this. This is a data that I got from the record of the World Health Organization 2020. So according to their findings, there are 1,350,000 people die each year as a result of traffic crashes. And another survey, they found out also that the road traffic crashes cause around 3% of the gross domestic product. So it means, for example, the Philippines has 4 trillion budget for 2021, and remove the 3% there. So it will cost us around 1 point, is it 12 billion? 12 billion pesos were lost. So that's how costly it is. And then another sad thing is more than half of all the road traffic deaths are among vulnerable road users, pedestrians, cyclists, and motorcyclists. So these are usually the victim: pedestrians, cyclists, and motorcyclists, so including the drivers and passengers. Another sad thing here, 93% of the world's fatalities are found in middle income countries, although they have approximately 60% of the world's vehicles. So what does this mean? 93% of those fatalities are found in our countries like Southeast Asia, Northern Africa. That's another figure. Imagine that 93%. So among these, let's say, just to compute it easy, let's say 1 million, and 93% are from poor countries. So 93, so that is mean 930,000 are dying from poor countries, while in Europe, in America, Japan, Korea, or Singapore is just seven. How many? Just 70,000. Wow, it's very sad. So how do they manage their traffic there? So is there a correlation of wealth to traffic management? I think so. So this is now my point, that the reason why we wanted to emphasize traffic management is, you see this. Road traffic injuries are the leading cause of death for children in youth adults aged 5 to 29 years old. So sad, isn't it? It's one of the leading cause of death for children, and it's happening, yet we seems to ignore it. When somebody died by motorcycle accident, it seems normal already for us. It seems, that's an accident. No, we can do something. We can manage it by management. So hopefully, guys, this would help you also be serious to continue learning. Our lesson is not only for board examination, but for all our lives. It's not for examination, but for us as human being to survive, not for us to survive in college or to survive in our profession. So these are facts that we cannot ignore, and hopefully this would inspire you more to learn about traffic management. So just wait for a while. I think there is something wrong with okay. Now let's start formally our lesson. So how would I begin? I would like to start with defining important terminologies. So what are they? Okay, let us start with what is this that is still slow to appear on my screen. Oh, terrible. So what is this? Oh God, why is it not appearing yet? Okay, so what is that first terminology that I would like you to see? And I have here a picture of road. So how do you call this part where the car passes by? And how do you call this part where passengers or pedestrians passes by? And how do you call all of the road together with the sidewalk and where the road passes by? So the answer, just watch. So all of it, we call this traffic way. From here to there is traffic way, while the portion where car passes by, this one is a roadway, and the portion here where passengers or pedestrians passes by is called shoulder. So these terminologies are important, guys, because when you make a report, you know specifically what you are going to mention or what are you going to write in your report. Is it the roadway, traffic way, or sidewalk, or crosswalk, or shoulder? So don't forget those terminologies. Then another terminology But before that, let me first ask you some questions. Okay, let me start with this. What is this? Okay, these are high-capacity urban roads that direct traffic from collector roads to expressways or freeways. So we're now talking about different kinds of road. So we have here arterial highway, collector highway, expressway, and roadway. So what is the question? It is a high capacity urban road. So urban meaning in place where a lot of houses that direct traffic from collector roads to expressways. So it connects collector roads and expressway. So what's the answer? Okay, the answer there is this, arterial highway. So let me show you further, explain further what is this. So what is this called collector highway? Okay, so collector highway is known also as collector road or distributor road, which connects low to moderate highways or roads at the highways such as through entering residential property. So a collector highway is like road coming from private ways. So it is actually where houses are located already. So for example, from this house, if he has private road coming here, so from house, and then he will use he will use this road. Okay, that this one is known as collector road because it collects car from houses, right? So that's how we term it. And then this road will go to through to this one, arterial highways. So what is arterial highway? Okay, these are high capacity urban roads that direct traffic from collector. So this is what I asked from you a while ago. So from, for example, I cannot find an example, so let me just illustrate. So for example, this is a road. This is a collector road. I've already mentioned a while ago that a collector road is like a road that is connecting houses. So there is house in here, this house here, there is private way here. Okay, something like that, and then that is the collector road. Then it reaches arterial road, which is this one. This is the arterial road, and this arterial road will go to another highway, which is called expressway. Okay, now we have also another terminology. It is defined as or characterized by the gradual increasing of traffic users in a given portion of the highway or traffic way. Characterized by the gradual increasing of traffic users in a given portion of the highway or traffic way. Gradual increase of traffic users. So meaning there is a little by little increase of motor vehicle users. So how do you call that? Is it a gridlock, bottleneck, traffic buildup, traffic congestions? So what is this? So the answer here is letter C. So traffic buildup is different from traffic congestions. So what's the example? Okay, let me discuss that further. Okay, this is an example of a traffic buildup. It's not exactly the example because this might be misinterpreted as traffic congestion also, but a traffic buildup is something like cars are beginning to build up, not yet a bumper to bumper situation. It's just beginning to something like this. It's not close, but it's already a traffic congestion or traffic jam. It's bumper to bumper. But if still like this, the cars are still moving, that's what we call traffic buildup. And if sometimes car do not move already, we call it traffic congestions. So when you make report, that's how you use. Is it traffic congestions really, or traffic jam, or traffic buildup? So you should know the difference. Okay, and then traffic congestions on the road when slower speed, longer trips, and increase in vehicular queuing, such as like this. So traffic congestions, as long as bumper to bumper and very slow, then that is traffic congestions. If it is, sometimes it's also bumper to bumper, but the cars are still moving faster, then it's not a traffic congestion, it's traffic buildup. Okay, so this is an example of a bottlenecks. These are narrow points or areas in a highway where traffic congestions or traffic jam usually occur, or traffic may be held up. So like bottlenecks is, it's very wide here, like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 lanes, and then when it reaches this portion, 1 2 3 4, like just 5 lanes only. So there is a bottleneck somewhere here. So that's how we term in case you encounter such situations. So there is a bottleneck usually happening where in La Trinidad, somewhere in KM3. There is a bottleneck over there. And then what else? Okay, and then what is this? We call this one as gridlock, where so it is a state or condition of server road congestion arising when continuous queues of vehicles block an entire network. So this one, you can see this car here, there's no more place to go. It's blocked by this one. The cars here, nowhere to go, blocked by this one. Cars in here is blocked by this, so they block each other. This car here is blocked by these cars, so there's nowhere to go. We call that terminology as gridlocks. What else? Then another terminology, we call it through highway. So it's actually an intersection, usually the same highway, meaning national highway, and also national highway. That's where we use the word through highway. What else? Okay, we also have expressway, sometimes called also as throughway. Throughway is different from throughway. There's throughway and throughway is the same. An example of these are expressways. So don't be confused by that terminology. And then we also have cloverleaf intersection. There are already some like this in Europe, but we don't have like this yet in our country. Okay, box junction. This one is common. We have here this one in Baguio City, the box junction. There are also some rules being followed here. Why is it that they put box? Once you are in an intersection, there is also a specific meaning of the box. For example, the rules there is, if you want to make a left turn, if you want to make a left turn, and So and someone is still here, a pedestrian is still crossing here, and you already reached this, you are not allowed to enter the box. You have to wait that the pedestrian reach this place before you are going to enter this line. So that is just one of the rules that this box junction indicates or tell us. Here, what else? Something is wrong with my